who is this firebrand Republican candidate whose meteoric rise has landed her the coveted spot in pulp culture? Saturday Night Live. I'm going to show you that parody in just a moment because it's epic. But first, the backstory. Kari Lake was a local news reporter and an anchorwoman in Phoenix, Arizona for 22 years. She spent her career speaking directly to people in that place that matters most, their living rooms. 2 decades on the air in the same city does a lot to endear you to the people who live there. Local news anchors are often considered the people you trust, so she's got that in her back pocket. But here's how her politics have evolved right alongside her job on TV. Lake started out as a Republican, but back in 2006, she switched her registration to independent. And then 2 years later, in 2008, she switched it again and registered as a Democrat. And she stayed a Democrat until 2012, supporting Barack Obama. But that same year, 2012, she switched again and went back to being a Republican. And that's where she has remained, a Republican, ever since. 2 years ago, she landed this interview with the man who became her champion.
Yet your supporters get a pretty bad rap out there by some.
Oh, really? No kidding. I saw the clip on television as I was coming in on Air Force One, and I saw them taking a vet who was an older guy and a wonderful-looking guy, and they were carrying him to the front row. And I saw that happen. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really beautiful. Why, is somebody giving that a bad rap?
I hope not, but
I can't imagine
I know some of your supporters have been called names, and I'm sure that doesn't make you feel very good.
No,
that they go through
our
that.
supporters, we have tremendous support and tremendous supporters.
Last year, Kari Lake left her TV news job saying that she didn't feel that it was balanced anymore. Here's a little of that message.
In the past few years, I haven't felt proud to be a member of the media. I'm sure there are other journalists out there who feel the same way. I found myself reading news copy that I didn't believe was fully truthful or only told part of the story. And I began to feel that I was contributing to the fear and division in this country by continuing on in this profession. It's been a serious struggle for me, and I no longer want to do this job anymore.
Shortly after that farewell to the TV business, Lake announced her run for governor and, in her words, became, quote, a Trump candidate. She was a leading voice in the anti-mask movement, the anti-vaccine movement, and she took center stage at several anti-abortion rallies. She promised to finish Donald Trump's border wall if elected. One magazine even called her the leading lady of Trumpism. And yes, her status in the zeitgeist was cemented when she was parodied on SNL last weekend.
Now, Ms. Lake, you have proposed some big changes to local voting laws. If you become governor, do you promise to make sure everyone's vote counts?
Judy, I'll make it easy. If the people of Arizona elect me, I'll make sure they never have to vote ever again.
It is an understatement to say just how hard it is to rise above the pack like Kari Lake has. There are thousands of candidates across the country who run for office. So to make national headlines when you're in a local race, that's a steep climb. Unless, of course, you have help. And Kari Lake had a lot of help. And I'm not talking about the usual suspects, the big shadowy super PACs who funnel the dark money in through an invisible pipeline. I am talking about something else much more sinister. Her opponents funded her. That's right, the Democrats. The Democrats showered money all over Republican Kari Lake's campaign. Democratic money. They were hoping that she would win her primary, and they were hoping that she would be the candidate that they would face in the general election. They truly believed that she was such a radical right-winger backed by Trump and so far into the fringe that they could clean her clock. But what a bad bet. Here's how she's polling right now, just 5 days from Election Day. Lake is beating her opponent, Katie Hobbs, 49% to 46%. And that is what we call in the business a squeaker. So it kind of looks like the Democrats may have underestimated Ms. Kari Lake. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.